For many years, Yankees versus Red Sox, what many regarded as the top rivalry in baseball, in all of sports for that matter, wasn't much of one. It's only in recent history that the rivalry between the two has become as spirited as it is. Tuesday marked just the 5th time they've been matched up in the postseason, and just the 2nd time they've met in a one-game elimination affair. The other was a Game 163 tiebreaker to decide the American League East title in 1978. Boston got a measure of revenge on Tuesday as the Red Sox chased the Yankees ace Gerrit Cole from the wild card game after 2 innings and knocked the Yankees out of the playoffs with a 6-2 victory. Let's explore the trials and tribulations in these clubs' shared history and how it's evolved into the rivalry we know today. So sit back, relax, and take this in. This episode is presented by Advil, fast pain relief you can trust. And before we can start, be sure to hit that subscribe button for us. We're on our way to 80,000 subscribers, and we want you to be a part of that. Now let's get started. The team's American League roots stretch back to the beginning of the 20th century, and they have met nearly 2,400 times in the regular season, with the Yankees holding a 200-win edge. The Yankees also have a much more extensive collection of AL pennants and World Series championships. Early in the 20th century, the Red Sox were one of the strongest teams in the majors, winning 5 of the first 15 World Series through 1918. But the club traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees after the 1919 season. Was it the start of a curse that saw the Red Sox fail to win another World Series that century? Depends on whether you believe in that kind of thing.
I don't believe in horoscopes. I don't believe in Christmas.
With Ruth, the Yankees built a dynasty in the 1920s and 1930s, and one that continued as Ruth passed the torch to Joe DiMaggio, who in turn handed it off to Mickey Mantle. In a 40-year stretch from 1923 to 1962, the Yankees won 20 World Series, half of the sport's championships. The Red Sox didn't win a title for 86 years after trading Ruth. From 1921 to 1964, the Yankees won 29 AL pennants. The Red Sox won 1 in 1946. And that's a perfect segue into our Take This In trivia presented by Advil, fast pain relief you can trust. Which 2 MLB teams had longer championship droughts than the Red Sox 86-year curse? The answer is the Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs, who each broke a 87-year and 107-year drought respectively, when the White Sox won in 2005 and the Cubs won in 2017. Now back to the video. The Red Sox couldn't catch a break in individual awards either, as DiMaggio topped Ted Williams for AL MVP in 1941, despite Williams hitting 406, the last time a major leaguer would hit over 400 in a season. The Yankees were simply the better team in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. The 1980s were something of a lost decade for the Yankees, who failed to win even a division title from 1982 to 1995. A spate of American League teams took turns in the World Series in the 80s, with the Red Sox finally earning another chance in 1986. Of course, that ended in heartbreak, with Boston on the cusp of winning it all in Game 6, only to have Mookie Wilson's grounder go through the legs of first baseman Bill Buckner, opening the door for the New York Mets to win it all in Game 7. After the Game 7 loss in 1986, New York Times sports columnist George Vesey wrote a piece titled "Babe Ruth Curse Strikes Again." Boston Globe columnist Dan Shaughnessy's book Curse of the Bambino, published several years later, cemented the idea that the Red Sox had sold their mojo to the Yankees back in 1919. But in the late 1990s, the rivalry began to heat up. The Red Sox finished second to the Yankees in 6 straight seasons from 1998 to 2004, during what many describe as the last Yankee dynasty. Both clubs have won 90 or more games in the same season 54 times, but 14 of those seasons have occurred since 2001. The Yankees defeated the Red Sox in the 1999 ALCS, the club's first postseason matchup, thanks to the introduction of the wild card in 1995, and again in 2003. Their third postseason series came in 2004, after the Red Sox again occupied the wild card after finishing second to the Yankees. New York won the first 3 ALCS games in 2004. It looked like the curse would continue.
Oh no, not this again.
Yes, Francine, this again.
Trying to close out the series in the 9th inning of Game 4, the Yankees Hall of Fame closer Mariano Rivera issued a lead-off walk to Kevin Millar. Dave Roberts pinch ran, stole second, and came around to score on a single by Bill Miller. David Ortiz won the game in the 12th with a homer. The Red Sox had another extra inning comeback in Game 5. Game 6 featured Curt Schilling and his bloody sock, and in Game 7, Gerrit Cole allowed just 1 run over 6 innings, while Johnny Damon drove in 6 runs. Boston swept a 105-win Cardinals team in the World Series, and the curse was over. In fact, the 2004 comeback against the Yankees was the first time in Major League history a team had come back from a 3-0 series deficit to win. Those circumstances ignited a simmering rivalry between the two clubs that still illuminates Major League Baseball. Fans in the rest of North America have been fed a steady diet of nationally televised Yankees, Red Sox regular season games ever since. The Red Sox enjoyed unparalleled success in its own franchise history, winning the World Series again in 2007 and 2013. They didn't meet the Yankees in the postseason again until the 2018 AL Division Series, with the Red Sox winning in 4 games and going on to win their 4th World Series this century. They met for a 5th time in the postseason Tuesday, another 1-game do-or-die like 1978. There was no Bucky Dent on the field at Fenway this time, but there was Kyle Schwarber, Xander Bogaerts, and Nathan Eovaldi. While the regular season record is lopsided, the all-time postseason series between the two clubs is now tied at 12 games apiece. And the Red Sox have now won 3 of their 5 postseason meetings against the Yankees. They also have captured 4 World Series titles this century to New York's 1. The Yankees may have owned the 20th century, but the Red Sox have closed the gap and laid early claim to owning the 21st. And who knows what the next generation has in store for us.